Question that I have for you today is, why don't you believe it can happen for you? You know, you go throughout life, and I've been guilty of this. You go throughout life, you start to change, you start to think differently, you start to move differently, you start to put yourself in a different environment. However, when it comes time for you to actually start to do something different, when it comes time for you to really actually put the work in to get the change that you actually desire, why is it that you can't seem to get things done? It seems like you feel like everything has to be perfect. It's like you feel like everything has to, be so specific and go a certain way. And what I've discovered is that when you wait that long, when I've waited that long, it has caused for me to procrastinate. And I believe that the reason why I've actually done that, why I have been able to change my environment, start reading books, start listening to different things. And then I have encouraging words for other people, but I don't have encouraging words for myself, is because really deep down, I don't believe that I deserve it. I didn't believe that, look, it can happen for them. It can also happen for me. And that is a really big problem, because if you want anything to happen in your life, and this is what I discovered by reading this book called The Magic of Believing. If you want anything to happen in your life, if I want anything to happen in my life, I have to believe that I can do it. You have to believe that you can do it. Because if you don't believe, but somebody else believes in you, it doesn't matter, because it's coming from you. You have to be the person that says, look, I can do this. I can do this because somebody else has done it. And because someone else has done it, that means that it can be done. And you have to get to a place to where you start to believe. Now, when it comes to you actually believing that you can do it, what are some steps to help you get there? Well, the first step is you first have to think like a success to become a success. And what do I mean? Well, a lot of times in the past, I know that I'll be like, man, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. And, if it works, it works. And, saying little things like that to basically say, I don't believe that I don't believe that it's going to work. And if it does, I'll be surprised. And that's not the attitude that you want to have. You do not want to have an attitude of, hey, this might work, this might not work. No, you want to have an attitude of, this is going to work. I'm going to get this to work. And it's just going to work. Like, you have to think like a success to be a success. The next thing is to start increasing your belief is you have to start believing big. And when I say believing big, I mean you have to start actually believing like, look, I am supposed to be here. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And when you start to think like that, like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I believe that this can happen, and there's nothing that's going to stop me, and everything is going to feel so great when this works. Start thinking about, man, when this works, this is going to be so awesome. Don't think about, well, man, if this doesn't work, what is going to happen? Because that's causing you to have negative thoughts. And if you truly, truly want to be a success, the third thing that you need to focus on is you need to make sure that you are ready. All right. You have to make sure that you are ready and that you are taking the initiative. That's what I mean by being ready. You are taking the initiative. Taking action on what you believe is what's really going to help you. Even in the Bible, it says that faith without works is dead. And faith is basically you believing in something that only you can see in your mind, not that you can see physically. And if you really want that to come true, and if you want that to happen, you have to work as if it is already done.